Good afternoon, Speed Gaming, and welcome to another edition of the multi-category tournament for Super Metroid. My name is Tracy M. I'll be taking you through this race. Today we are running GT Classic. This week our choices were GT Classic, 100%, low percent ice. Timo being the higher seed, deferred to Derxu. Derxu vetoed 100%, and Timo vetoed low percent. So this is how we got to GT Classic. And really looking forward to this run. A nice quick run, a lot of fun, a lot of nice strats we can see because essentially we're going to get all the items, but we're going to get them a little bit for free. Of course, we are going to start with Cirrus Station, so nothing really new here. Same way every run starts. So I'm going to take this time to talk a little about these runners. So first of all, their PBs in GT Classic are actually pretty darn close, so this could make for a really nice race. Timo having a 39.22 report as reported at the beginning of the tournament. Derxu with a 39.42. I do not know if either one of them has updated that time since then. And we are in the 1 and 2 bracket. Timo having won his first round match against Polar Bear Bunny, and then having subsequent losses against Kip and BF Robber. Derxu having lost his first round match against Aussie, then won his second round match versus J-Chalk, and then lost his third round match to Fruit Bat Salad. And of course, as always, we're just going to damage ourselves down to Ridley here, because otherwise it would take 100 shots to kill him, and no one wants to take that time. We're trying to go fast. And let's see how they do on this escape. Alright. As always, getting trolled by Steam a little bit. And they're at about the same time. Timo with a 44 something, Derxu with a 43 something. Of course, when you do the escape, you want a higher number, because that means less of the timer has gone down. And now we'll go to the planet proper. So for those of you that maybe haven't seen GT Classic before, this is a very front-loaded in terms of danger. We are going to get the minimum number of items to survive, essentially. So we're going to go ahead and pick up a few E-tanks. We're going to pick up a little bit of ammo, and we're going to pick up high jump boots. Probably going to skip things like charge beams or some missiles that we normally would pick up that we're going to skip that, well, the runners can choose to skip. These are all options they can get. Basically, the reason why we skip those items is when we get to the GT fight, we're going to enter the GT code. More about that later, and that will give us basically all the items. We see nice moonfalls in the start, a very synced fall there. Oh, and more synced moonfalling. Very, very nice. As they head down the elevator to get the all-important morph ball to go ahead and start in their first missile so the planet will awaken. And the sync is still real. With PBs within 20 seconds of each other, it's not too much of a surprise. Alright, so now we're not quite as in sync, but still pretty darn close. As they're going to head up towards the climb. Okay, Derxu having a little bit worse of dealing with those pirates. He's going to have you a little bit behind. We do see Derxu doing the ledge grabs, Timochun doing wall jumps. Both doing a very nice job. Optimally, they're pretty darn equal. Derxu having a little bit of trouble at the upper part, but he'll get through this. So right now, I'd say Timo's movement just a little bit cleaner overall. We do need to pick up bombs, otherwise we can't proceed. And we'll do the nice bomb chorizo fight. Both runners with full health starting out, which is really nice because otherwise you're not going to guarantee these missile drops that you want. Timo doing a very nice job, very quickly killing off bomb chorizo here. Derxu starts his fight a little bit behind. Didn't quite do as well as picking up those missiles packs. What you want to do is pick up some of the missile drops and then pick up the rest afterwards. So his fight went a little bit slower, but still very nicely done. And we will run right into this E-tank. And Timo missing the space part. This is not too much of a surprise. They do need to pick up power bombs before they head down over to Kraid, because it's the most convenient place to pick them up, because they need them to get to Lower Norfair. And basically, they're going to head to Kraid, grab that Various suit, grab a few E-tanks and a little bit of ammo, and then head straight to the lava dive. Well, let's get these all-important early supers. Yeah, so question about the routes. The very few differences in terms of a GT Classic route. Mostly it's a matter of who picks up extra safeties. The top runners will often choose to say skip high jump boots, which isn't as much of a time save as you might think, because the time you save in not picking them up can also be lost in the difficulty of the lava dive, also in terms of just general movement. And like I said, they will both have to pick up these early power bombs. So we did have a race a couple weeks ago where one of the runners actually forgot to get those power bombs early on. So, well, hopefully neither one of them does that this time. But you notice Timo here isn't even going to bother with those missiles, isn't going to bother with the charge beam, because the GT code is going to give it to them. Some runners will choose to pick one or both of those up as an extra safety, but that's pure runner preference and not really a huge route divergence. Yeah, Derxu also going to skip those items. I also doubt either one of these runners is going to skip the high jump boots. So you see Timo jumping through the door. He's going to head up to get his early power bombs. Does a nice job with the hero shot and makes it up the red tower on first try. Derxu right behind him. Doesn't get the hero shot, so he's going to have to fall down and do it again. There's just enough time for that platform stays shot out just long enough to do another jump up. And we do pick up our early power bombs. So you have to pick these up, otherwise you can't get down to Lower Norfair, so. Now, the only other power bomb pack available would be to go to Croc, and that would take way longer. So we're certainly not going to do that. Yeah, so the comment about bootless saving, high jumpless saving 20 seconds, it is definitely a time save for those that can execute it cleanly, and that's always the key point in these things. So that's why only the absolute top runners are going to do it. You're not going to see it unless somebody's real. You have to be really good at both the high jump plus lava dive, but it's also, like I said, it's not just a matter of being able to do that high jump plus lava dive. It's also a matter of just little movement things. Like for instance, when they go through the cathedral area, they'll have to do an extra set of bomb jumping because without high jump boots, you can't just jump up there. So a reminder that a lot of times that when we talk about what's a faster strat, it's only when it's done optimally. And if you're not going to be able to do it optimally, you're probably better off sticking to the safer strats. You'll see Timo having blown up the tube ahead of time. That'll save him time when he comes back here with the gravity suit. Derxu doing the same. And we're going to head towards Kraid. And in order to save our regular missiles, since we only have one pack, you'll often see runners lay that power bomb to kill the space pirates there. You can easily use a super on Mini Kraid because Mini Kraid is pretty much a guaranteed set of super drops. Derxu also laying that power bomb. He's down a super. Looks like he's going to want to farm one up. Yeah, this Derxu's not going to be able to do... I don't know if... Timo doing a very nice quick kill. This setup for a quick kill on Derxu's side is not very good. Because he's going to have to do 1 missile and 3 supers, and he can't do a 2 missile setup to do it this way. So let's see what he does here. Oh, and he misses the quick kill. He misses the 2 of those supers anyway. This is trouble. Kraid, if you're not used to dealing with him stood up, is a very, very dangerous boss. And he has and you're pretty much not going to get super drops. So he's going to want to hit with these missiles. He doesn't have charge beam to back him up, so he's going to have to farm the missiles that he gets. This is why we talked about earlier, that 1 missile pack that you usually pick up in an any percent run, that we've skipped the ones in your charge beam. Oh, you want to grab that? Yeah, grab that. Okay, we're good. We're okay. We're okay. 1 more missile should do it. Okay, he's fine. Okay, Timo grabbing the energy tank of Kraid. That's one of those extra safeties that some runners will go for. And Derxu picks up his Various suit. And Timo getting the very nice mouth ball out of the Kraid's lair area. One of my favorite mock balls. Okay, Timo gonna grab this energy tank. Is he also gonna grab the high jump boots? Yeah, it looks like he is. Derxu also getting the nice mouth ball out of the Kraid's lair area. Timo grabbing his high jump boots. And this will be the last thing he grabs before he goes down to Lower Norfair. Probably going to take a safety save, just in case something goes wrong with the lava dive. There's 2 safety saves that most runners will take. They'll take 1 before the lava dive in case that goes wrong. And they'll take 1 right afterwards in case they mess up the green gate glitch. Timo not taking the first safety save. He could take it at Bubble Mountain if he wants. It's not a huge difference. You see right here where Timo's jumping up, that's where one of the big differences comes if you don't get your high jump boots. You can't jump up there without high jump boots. You'd have to do a bomb jump to get up there. And we'll probably see a lot of that when we get to some people doing low percent ice categories. And Timo's going to take the Bubble Mountain safety save here. Alright, team, we're gonna head down towards Lower Norfair. He's gonna farm up here. You want to be at full supers to get the maximum chances of getting that green gate glitch first try. Meanwhile, Derxu heading over to Bubble Mountain. He's only going with 2 E-tanks. So wants to save a little bit of time somewhere. So I'm gonna guess that he skipped the crate E-tank. Also gonna take a safety save. A little more important with the 2 E-tanks instead of 3. Okay, Timo entering his lava dive. That jumps way high off the Name head. You're a little better off going a little bit lower. Actually, you're optimally you want to go as low as you can on that jump, but he still gets through without any trouble. Is also going to take this save. This is not a safety save in terms of dying, but it is a safety save in terms of super missiles, because that green gate glitch can get very tricky at times, and even the best runners can fail it for no noticeable reason whatsoever. And there is nothing down here you can farm off of to get more super missiles. So better to just have the full super missiles in your save and then go ahead and reset. Okay, Derxu into his lava dive. A little less safe for him since he only has 2 E-tanks. Looks good so far. And he gets through just fine. Okay, now the green gate glitch. All important. And second try for Timo. Very nicely done. And now he's going to go ahead and enter the GT room. What you want to do here is, as you're going into the room, you want to hold all the face button, X, Y, A, and B. And then immediately you want to pause and turn off Spazer, because if you fire a shot, you will soft lock with Spazer and Plasma both equipped. You see him going ahead and turning off that Spazer button. A couple ways to make that a little bit easier, because it does, you are holding the shot button when you're holding those 4 face buttons. Some runners will roll in through the door, so they don't have to worry about shooting something. Some runners will equip missiles as they go through the door. That way, if they shoot something, they're shooting a missile and not shooting the beam. And you see that he makes very quick work of GT himself, because all you have to do is find that nice safe spot and just fire a bunch of shots up. The one item the GT code does not give you is Screw Attack. So you'll notice the runners will pick up Screw Attack after, not before. Because if you pick it up before, the game will delete it. You will actually not have Screw Attack. So then you will never be able to get it back. So in order to have Screw Attack, which of course makes Lower Norfair that much easier, you want to pick it up afterwards. Timo getting very nice fast pillars. And this is where we can really just, a lot of people call this like Hundo Light, because you get all the items that you get from Hundo, so you can have a lot of fun playing around with all the items and having all the strats available to you. But you don't actually have to go through all 100 pickups and all 100 fanfares. Usually runners will not pick up anything else after at this point. You might occasionally see a runner pick up either the GT Supers or the Batwoon Energy Tank, because those are very much on the way. But even that is pretty rare, because you just don't really need them, because you have everything else. Okay, Derxu making his way up worst room in the game, which really isn't worst room when you have Space Jump and Screw Attack and Hide Jump and all the goodies. Timochun heading down towards Ridley. Like Timo going to use some charge beam shots for the metal pirates. If you can shoot them while they're moving away from you, you can get 2 shots off of 1 plasma shot like that, and he does very nicely. Derxu only a few rooms behind. And we now are into our Ridley fight, which, of course, with this beam combination will take 20 shots. The runners can choose to supplement with super missiles. Super missiles would be 30 shots, so for every every 2 super missiles would equal 3 charge shots. No, sorry, see the way around. Every 3 supers for 2 charge shots. And Timo's got Ridley down, it looks like. At least he thinks he does. I wasn't counting. But I'll assume he is down. He just needs to be picked up, and Ridley picks him up and explodes as he's wont to. So Derxu entering his Ridley fight, basically a Ridley fight behind. And we don't even want to pick up the E-Tank here. Way too long. If you're going to grab an extra E-Tank, like I said, you would grab the Bot Wound Energy Tank because it doesn't involve any door transitions, but I don't think either runner is going to do that. So here, Timo just leaves the E-Tank. I'm going to guess Derxu's going to do the same. And just make his way out of Lower Norfair. Derxu getting Ridley into a nice pogo pattern here. So he's already in that red color. Shouldn't take much longer. Very nice job keeping Ridley in the pogo pattern. Unfortunately, I thought he was dead, and he wasn't. So at least one more shot was needed. And then of course, what can happen is you can have Ridley... once he gets that low HP, if he swoops enough, then he will just spontaneously combust, as we saw there on Derxu's side. Derxu making his way through the red Key Hunter shaft. With Plasma Beam and Screw Attack, it's a fairly safe area. They do still hit a ton, like 50 HP per hit, so you still want to be careful, but very easily managed with the combination of items that we have here. Okay, and Timo making his way through the Three Musketeers. Again, another area that becomes much easier with the Screw Attack and the Plasma Beam. Still have to make sure you execute it properly, because the amount of damage you can take. But again, with those items, not usually a problem. And now we're going to make our way out of Norfair and head over towards Meridia. Okay. Timo making his way out of Norfair as Derxu making his way out of Lower Norfair. And we'll head up into Meridia. And of course, we can do this nice Shine Spark through Mount Everest. I should mention, the GT code does give us every item, including Grapple Beam and X-Ray, which are only drawn on your HUD if you actually pick up the physical item, but they are there. And we're going to see some use of X-Ray very shortly. This is one of the few categories where you get to do this. And we're going to use what has been dubbed the Microwave Beam for both Bot Wound and Dragon. You can actually hear the clicks as he gets over to X-Ray. And what you want to do is you want to charge a shot here and then buffer it with X-Ray. And because the game is not expecting you to have Plasma Beam for these bosses, it didn't guard against this, and so you can just do that buffer and get enough hits. It only takes 4 shots to kill Bot Wound with this beam combination, so it works pretty quickly. And we'll see the same. We'll see similar strats on both Dragon and Fantoon. Fantoon we'll get to. When we get to it, we'll talk more about that. It is a little bit harder and a little bit extra work for the microwave to work, but it does. It is still used. It is still used. And Timo just gonna space jump across, and he'll head into his Dragon fight. Derxu setting up for his microwave beam. And interestingly, the Dragon fight I think is actually even a little bit easier, although it does take more shots, or more buffers, I should say. The nice thing about the Dragon fight is you'll see the runners do. We'll see Timo. He's already set up with that X-ray. He should kneel down, and yeah, so he's kneeling down. And what that does is when Dragon dies, you'll see he'll be forced into a standing position, and so he knows he can stop. Looks like he's gonna go for a spark suit here. Maybe just a little bit. We'll see if he actually does. Nope, not really worrying about it. Half-hearted try it. Not too concerned. Just gets out as soon as he can. Derxu also going to do the same microwave here. Perhaps using this time to practice his short charges so that when he goes other categories that don't allow this, he'll be ready for it. But it does set up for the microwave. See him kneeling down, and he will eventually be forced to stand up. And Derxu waiting for that door to open. And Timo gonna head out of Meridia and head straight over towards Fantoon. All right, this is the important part of the run. Remembering to kill Fanny. Do have to do Fantoon. We've seen the Fantoon skip tried. It doesn't work. Shout outs to Sloters, who will be calming the next race coming right after this. He'll be accompanied by Apathy Duck, so looking forward to that. Alright, Timo remembers to go over towards Fantoon, remembers to skip this missile pack. We'll space jump across. I think this is a little bit faster, saves on the crash animation. Not a huge difference. Derxu getting the nice mock ball out, and he will make his way over to the wreck ship. So we talked about earlier that the Fantoon fight is a little bit different than the others. So the Fantoon fight is a little bit different in that you can't just go straight to the microwave strat. You have to actually get Fantoon to open his eye and fire a missile. And then on one of his passes, then you can go ahead and do the microwave. So it's not as easy and not as free as the other two. Derxu makes his way across the ocean. And of course, Fantoon patterns still are a thing here. So it looks like we're getting a slow for Timo to start off. And he gets the microwave off very nicely. So Derxu's best shot at catching up a little bit would be to perform it that well, but with a fast pattern. He's still going to be behind even if he gets that, but it would definitely catch him up a little bit. But very nicely executed by Timo. Okay, he does get it. Looks like he did get a fast parent, and he is doing the microwave very quickly. It only takes 3 plasma shots or full beam combo shots to finish off Fantoon in this situation, so very quickly done. So Derxu's going to make up a little bit of time here. Still not quite enough for him to catch up, so at this point, Timo's going to have to make a mistake in order for Derxu to have any real shot at coming up. But there is one more choke point in the run, assuming that the runners do stand-up glitch. Because there are a couple ways to soft lock, and it's a little bit trickier when you're doing a GT Classic, because you'll notice Timo has full energy. You'll notice that 0-0 on the bottom, so it's not 7 E-tanks so much as 700 health. And you need to be at that full 700 health in order to do stand-up glitch. Anybody that watched the multi-category tournament from 2 years ago, that was a common source of soft locking. Derxu not getting a not so great exit out of the wreck ship, but now is on his way. Of course, we do have to wait for this cutscene. We'll see that both runners have killed all the bosses. Timo just standing there contemplating his run, thinking about what he needs to do next. As Derxu starts his cutscene, so he's about a cutscene behind. Very, very close race, which is what you would expect considering their PBs. Again, Timo with a 39.22, Derxu with a 39.42. Only a 20-second difference. A very nice Metroid Room 1 from Timo. And just flying through these Metroid rooms. Still at full health. Ammo, of course, not going to be an issue because you have 100 missiles. More supers is better, but you know, not like an any percent run where you really have to be cognizant of just exactly how many missiles and exactly how many supers you have. As Derxu enters his first Metroid room, his health not as great. Fortunately, the GT code does give us 3 reserve tanks that the runners will likely use if they lose any energy before the stand-up glitch portion of the Mother Brain fight. Timo going for a baby skip. This is one of those things that could allow Timo getting caught. So if Derxu could manage to get a baby skip, that's another place he can make up a little bit of time. So Timo will have to go ahead and refill here. All right. Derxu working up to his baby skip. And Timo gonna go ahead and take a safety save. The runners are allowed to watch each other, and this could be in response to him having a bit of a lead. But if he does go back to the save, he's gonna lose that lead. It could also be in response to he did have a little bit of an issue in his last run, dying to Mother Brain because he had Varisuit and not Gravity because he was doing an RBO run. And the damage you take can be a little bit weird when you don't have the suits the game expects you to have. And he didn't quite damage himself down the right way. So there you'll see he did a very nice, one of the newer strats, the spring ball Zeb skip, which it technically doesn't need spring ball, but it's certainly easier with, where you shoot out the first Zeb and then use spring ball and go through the second one in morph ball form. So he's gonna do his, again, 20 shots here. We'll finish off Mother Brain 2. And he'll have to refill from his reserve tanks if he wants to do stand-up glitch. Derxu making his way through the Zebs, doing the standard ice Zeb skip, having turned off his screw attack. That's one of the time saves of doing that spring ball Zeb skip, is you can leave screw attack on for it. Timo dodging that ketchup. So you're going to see, yeah, Timo has to pop his reserve so he's at the full 700 in order to do stand-up glitch. We got Derxu at the beginning of the Mother Brain fight. Alright, so far so good on Timo's side. Derxu setting up for his stand-up glitch, having popped his reserve tank. This first part where he's in... we do need to be in the air. Is very specific times for this. A few places that things can still go wrong. Timo doing a nice job with his shots here. He needs to make sure the baby stays on him. Otherwise, it can float away to places where it can't get killed, and then you're soft locked. And also, you don't want to be firing a shot at the wrong time as you get the hyper beam. So he's going to want to pause for a second. And there, he's gotten through very nicely. Probably only about 2 or 3 more shots to finish this off. Okay, more like 5 or 6, but he's got this. Derxu's just starting off his stand-up glitch. Alright, and Timo just the escape left, while Derxu into the stand-up glitch, firing shots. Derxu finishing off Mother Brain 3. He'll be in the escape shortly. Alright, Timo finishing up. And this with an official SRL time of 38:29. This is a PB for him. He does say in SRL that he earlier got a PB of 38:40 something. But this is even better, so congratulations. And Derxu's going to finish up right behind him. All right, Derxu finishing up with an official SRL time of 39:19, also a PB. So congratulations to both our runners. Timo with the win. Very close race, both with PBs, a double PB race. That was pretty awesome, though. Very nicely done. The only downside I saw to either one of these guys' runs was that crate fight from Derxu got away from him a little bit, and in the end, that might have been the difference in the match. But both did a very nice job. And joining us is Derxu. Congrats on the PB there.
Yo, thank you.
Yeah. So I was just saying, and Timo, it looks like you're in the waiting room. So go ahead and join us whenever you're ready. Yeah, I mean, the big difference there was that crate fight. But other than that, both of you had very, very, very nice runs from both of you. Okay, so someone's got the audio on. I'm hearing an echo. Okay. And congratulations, Timo. Also a PB, also a very nice run.
Hey, GG's guys. Can you hear me?
Yo,
Yep.
GG.
Yo, GG. Good race. 2 PBs. Nice one.
Yeah.
Sick.
It was pretty good. I mean, no issues in the major choke points. Like I said, the only
only minor one.
yeah,
On
just
my side.
the crate fight. So Dirks, I
Yeah.
gotta ask you though. You went in with 1 missile and 3 supers, and I don't know which quick kill you normally do, but that was going to be a problem from
Yeah, I
the
usually
get-go.
do the 4 supers quick kill, and
Yeah.
I misfired the super on mini crate, so that was, well, I could have backed it up with a regular missile, but I shot something into his claw, and well, I got a farm. Then I got low HP and didn't get any other drops than minor HP drops, so this was super annoying crate fight.
Yeah, so you just end up saying, let's just do it, and then of course you had to fight crate the intended way, which is never fun. But fortunately, you got through that. You scared us a little bit, but you got through it.
Yeah, it's still just great, right?
Yeah, it's still just great. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Timo, I mean, after your unfortunate finish last week, was that the reason for the safety save at the end?
Yes, I just want to finish one. I think 2 times I died at Mother Brain.
Oh.
The race with Kip, I didn't have enough missiles at Mother Brain 1.
Oh,
And
okay.
last time I died at Mother Brain 2, so I had to play it safe. And I knew that I was ahead, so it was fine.
Yeah, you had the time for it. Yeah, that was I missed I'd forgotten about the race against Kip, but yeah, I saw the RBO one, and that was, you had such a beautiful run. It was a shame that it ended the way it did.
Yes.
But yeah, congratulations. So you'll be moving on. You're in the 2-2 bracket next week, so that still puts you within striking distance of making the playoffs. If you can win your last 2 and get into that 4-2 play-in race. Derxu, unfortunately, that's going to put you at 1-3, but we'll have fun watching you for 2 more weeks. But that'll be it. But I hope you're enjoying the tournament anyway.
Yeah, it was super fun so far.
Yep. And of course, we still get to see you 2 more weeks because Swiss gets everybody 6 rounds. Just one of the really nice parts about it.
So what's up next week? Which categories?
You would ask. Let me look it up. I don't have. I know RBO is next week. Is coming back next week.
Nice.
The comeback. Let's go.
Yeah. But let me double check what the other 2 are because I don't have them memorized. I know what League 6 is because it just swaps out low ice and RBO. Next week is RBO, all bosses, and GT Classic.
Ooh, interesting.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay.
So, any thoughts from either of you about which of those categories you might choose to run, or maybe you don't want to say anything in case your next opponent, whoever that is listening.
I mean, I like them all. Yeah, go ahead.
For me, it depends on who my opponent is, but I'm most likely to go with RBO again.
Nice.
Yeah. It's always like RBO, anything can happen.
So true. And Derxu, any thoughts on your choices for next week?
Yeah, I think I'm going like the same. I like RBO because if you match with a higher seed player, he also can just screw up. Like,
Yep.
yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, yeah,
Absolutely.
and also there's Ridley and then there's Dragon with, well, you lose lots of time if you fail, and
Mhm.
yeah, but I like all of these three categories, so
That
yeah,
should be a good one.
it's fun anyways.
Okay. Anything else either one of you want to add before we close things out?
From my side, not really. GG's, Derxu. Nice race. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Thanks for the commentary. And see you next week, I guess.
Yep. Nothing to add to that. GG and thanks, and yeah, good luck, Timo, on the next runs, and you'll get into the playoffs, I'm sure.
We'll see.
He's still alive. He's in it. He's got a shot at it. So. All right, so that's pretty much gonna do it for us. We do have another race coming up in just 15 minutes between Jargle Bargle and J Chalk. On the comms for that will be Apathy Duck and Sloaters. And then another race at 5 o'clock between Junie June and D-Drag, and Hockey Towner is going to be bringing that one to us. Also, a whole lot more coming up. I guess I'll highlight, there's a couple Wednesday matches I'll highlight. Actually, currently only 2 scheduled. Gameholic versus Lomi and Jones at 9:30, and Hero A2 versus Maniacal. And Hero and Maniacal have already agreed that they are going to do Hundo. So if you're a big fan of Hundo, go ahead and make sure you tune in for that one. But yeah, that'll be it for us. I want to thank our runners, Derxu and Timochun, for putting on a really nice race. That was really fun to commentate. And to all of you watching, to everybody behind the scenes at Speed Gaming, big thank you. And we'll see you over on Speed Gaming 2 in about 15 minutes.